Hey, what's up? My name is Ange. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be going over my February wrap-up and my March TBR. Starting off, I read 11 books in February. I have 9 here, and then I have 2 novellas. One is in Bad Blood because 12 is on there, and then the other one is New Year's Day by Monica Murphy. The first book that I read in the month of February was New Year's Day, which was Lancaster Prep 5.5 by Monica Murphy. It was just like a little novella, obviously, about New Year's Day. Everyone's kids are all grown up. I gave it 3 stars. I thought that it was a cutesy little novella. I'm glad I got to see the kids all grown up, and I'm really excited for the next generation of Lancasters. Love that world, even though I'm like, oh my god, like sometimes the like bully part, like I don't love that, but something about the Lancasters, I absolutely love them, and I'm so excited for that next generation. So the next one that I read was Last Chance Books by Kelsey Rocky. This was my blind date with the book. If you did not see that video, that one was out. I believe I posted that one on Valentine's Day. This one is about Madeline Moore. She works at her family-owned bookstore for generations called Books and More. Nothing is going to stop her from coming back after college to take over the store from her beloved aunt. It's her destiny. But then Prologue, which is a chain bookstore, moves in across the street, and Madeline is saying that they're taking all of her business and now we're going to have to shut down. This is where Jasper works. This is also, I believe that it's a family-owned bookstore for them too. I'm not sure if they own the whole chain or if they just run this particular bookstore. She's trying to sabotage this place, and Jasper seems intent on ruining her life. Not only is he taking her customers, he also has the unbelievable audacity to be extremely cute. But that doesn't matter. Jasper is the enemy and he will be destroyed. After all, it's all fair in love and book war. So I thought that this one was super cute. I give it 3 stars. I love the banter between Madeline and Jasper. I was not expecting the ending, without ruining anything, I was not expecting it to actually happen. And if you read this book, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I apologize. I just don't want to spoil it for you. I wish that this book was dual point of view. I would have loved to see Jasper's side of it. This whole thing is in Madeline's perspective, but I think even if it wasn't every chapter jumped back and forth, I think it would have been really interesting to have Jasper's point of view in this, so I'm kind of upset that we didn't get that. I just think it would have been really interesting. So overall, I give this one 3 stars. Next book that I read was The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. This one is about Emily Hornsby. She has a disastrous Valentine's Day, and it's that Groundhog situation where she keeps repeating the same day over and over again, and then eventually that stops, and the day that it stops is the most interesting one, honestly, by far. Everything needs to fall in place for her. She seems like she's stuck in some sort of time loop nightmare that she can't wake up from as she watches her boyfriend cheat on her day after day after day. No matter what she tries to change, the car accident keeps on happening. Obviously, as we can see it on the cover here, this cover is so cute. I don't have the new edition. I got this a while ago, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. So when I also did another video for reading pink covered books for a week, this one was on it, so I read this one during that. I thought it was super cute. I gave this one 3 stars. I was really iffy on this one because I heard a lot of mixed reviews, and I thought that I don't really reach for that Groundhog Day scenario. I read a book like that before and I didn't love it. However, I thought that this one was super cute and I loved the ending, and without spoiling it, I don't know really how to explain why I liked it so much. I truly believe that someone had brought them together, and that's why she had to repeat Valentine's Day over and over and over again until that last one where she did these crazy things. I loved him as a character. I loved her, and it was really cute, and I love Lynn Painter's writing. Better Than the Movies was such a like cutesy, lovey book. It was adorable. I'm really happy that I got to this month. Next book that I read was Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey, and this one is about Hallie, I don't know. She is gardening at Julian Voss's estate. His mother had hired her to plant some flowers. They own a vineyard, and Julian is the son who Hallie had almost kissed when they were like 14 in the vineyard when his sister was having a party, and I think she moved away, and now they're back, and he's on a sabbatical from his job because of something that happened in his job, and he's like all buttoned up, and she's like, woo, so everything's great. Very grumpy professor, and they are just polar opposites. I just honestly, I didn't like this book. I gave this book 2 stars. My review is literally just a sad face on Goodreads, which is so upsetting because I loved It Happened One Summer and I loved Hook, Line, and Sinker. So for me to just hate reading this book, and if you watched my reading pink covered books for a week video, you know that I absolutely struggled trying to get through this book. I started just skimming it. I just didn't care. I just didn't enjoy it. I don't know, it's such a shame because I loved Hook, Line, and Sinker and It Happened One Summer. Like, literally loved them. So she was an instant buy for me. But then I picked this up and I was just like, I don't want to pick up another one. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Just my opinion on this particular book. It just did not do it for me. The next book that I read was my book club read for this month, which was Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing her name right. But this one is about Daniela, and she's always wanted love. It's all she hoped for when watching endless rom-coms every Friday night. When she hadn't hoped for was to find in her childhood best friend Levi. So one day they are in, I believe it's a bar or a restaurant, I'm not exactly sure, and they bump into each other after years of not talking since I believe it was high school. Somehow he gets her to be his fake date to this wedding after they run into his ex-girlfriend who's also in this wedding. And I don't want to spoil too much because this will be in my book club read video. However, I will tell you that I gave this one 3 stars. I thought it was a very cute read, but I am not a fan of the miscommunication trope. I do not like it. I am such a let's talk it out, let's figure it out right now type of person that when I see this kind of communication that you guys have not talked for so many years because of something so stupid, it makes me annoyed and I just get irritated. So for some reason that miscommunication trope is just not for me. I don't enjoy reading it. So when I read it I was like, you know what, I love everything else about this book, so I'm going to ignore it. But the miscommunication trope is just not for me. This cover, actually I'm reading my review. My next few comments, I can't do this because it's spoilers. So if you want to check out my full thoughts on this book, you can check out my February book club read whenever it comes out. This is a self-published author. She is a self-published author. So the date that I ordered this book is actually the date that this was printed too. And I believe that she does all the covers herself. Like, look how cute it is. Isn't it adorable? Oh my god, I love it. Props to her. I want to read her other book. It is Don't Be in Love. So if you have not checked out this author, you should. Props to her. This takes so much guts. You are amazing at what you're doing. This is proof right here that if you want to do it, just do it because it's going to be worth it. All in all, I gave this one 3 stars. Check out my video soon for my book club read. The next one that I read was If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nolan. This is a reading vlog. This is a reading vlog that I believe is coming out in 2 weeks. So I'm not going to go super in depth. This is a full spoiler reading vlog. So if you have read this, please go check that out when this comes out because I would love to talk to somebody about how I feel about this book because I had so many feelings about this book. This was a 5-star read for me. This is the next book from If He Had Been With Me, which is breaking everybody's hearts. That book was written in 2013. This one just came out February 6th of 2024. So people had to wait 11 years if you read this book all the way back then. But it's about Finn and Autumn, and this one is after what happened in If He Had Been With Me. This book is split into 3 different sections. It starts off with Finn's section, which obviously, again, if you read the book, it is the last few days. Then it's Jack, his best friend, and then it's Autumn. Jack's section messed me up. I did not cry when I was reading If He Had Been With Me. This one I cried. Jack's perspective made me cry. The ending made me really happy because I was really happy for Autumn. I'm also really happy that we got this second book because I felt like the first one ended very abruptly and I wasn't happy with the ending on that one. So for the author to have was going to leave that like that, I'm so happy that a second one did end up coming out. It was so good. I rated this one 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I ate it up. I read it so fast. I literally couldn't get to the end quick enough, but Jack's point of view was honestly my favorite. The next book that I read this month was Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read The Naturals a while ago. I think I read it in like September. So this one is the continuation of the Naturals series. This one's about Cassie. Is it Cassie? Is it Casey? I don't know. I keep calling her Cassie. So I'm going to call her Cassie. Correct me if I am wrong, but I'm calling her Cassie. This is the second book in the series. She has this gift for profiling people, so they are in the Nationals program for the FBI. They are solving cold cases. She has barely escaped a confrontation with an unbalanced killer obsessed with her mother's murder. She hopes the rest of her team can stick to solving cold cases from a distance. They are then pulled into an active case when before that they were just held off onto cold cases because they are minors and they're technically not in the FBI. However, a case comes up that is similar to Dean's father, and then they are pulled into that. This one was like, I was reading it and I was like, oh my god, I like literally can't read it fast enough. It was so good. I would rate this one 4.5 stars. I put the rest of these books off for a while and I kind of wish that I didn't. I wish I just read them quick. But the next one was like, okay. But these next ones, I finished the rest of the series this month. It was crazy. I regret not picking it up sooner. I loved it. The continuation. It's so good, and I'm like sitting there solving the crime with them like I'm in Criminal Minds. It was amazing. I loved it. Next one that I read was All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is book 3 of the Natural series, and it's about a string of brutal murders in Las Vegas. They are called in to investigate, again, a continuation of it, where a then broader picture comes up that continues in Bad Blood. I gave this one 4 stars. The plot twist on this one, I was not expecting that at all. And the plot twist that I'm talking about is the thing that continues on in Bad Blood. It was so good. I could not read this fast enough. I had to know what happened. I loved this series. I love how everything is connected, and you'll read that in this book. You'll realize how everything is connected, and it's just like, oh my god, what's going on? So immediately after I put this one down, I picked up Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. When she joined the FBI's Naturals program, she had one goal: to solve her mother's murder. She thought she knew everything about the night that she had been called into question. The people holding the truth captive are more powerful and dangerous than anything the Naturals have had to face so far. I'll just tell you that this is a continuation. Everything is connected. It was so crazy. I couldn't believe it. The shock, like the plot twist of this one absolutely shocked me. Everything being connected like this. I rated this one 4.5 stars. And then in this book, because this is a thick one right here, is also 12 by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is their novella. I rated their novella. Their novella is about, in one of the books, I don't remember which one it was, they solved I believe it was Killer Instinct, one of the cold cases that they solved. Or actually, it wasn't a cold case, it was an active case for a missing child named Mackenzie. So 12 is about her. Again, I believe she was 12, so maybe that's why it was named that. But I rated that novella 4 stars. It was probably one of the best novellas that I've ever read, that I kind of wish it was a full book, because we definitely could have gotten a full book out of that. That was so good, and I was so happy to see them so many years later and see how they were able to change the Naturals program. I loved it. The series was just so good. I'm so happy that I was able to finish it, but wow, I wish I could read it again for the first time. The final book that I read in February was Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I started out listening to this book on Audible. Oh my god, the audiobook, amazing. So good. This one is about Annie Walker. She's on a quest to find like her true love. This is actually the second book in the, I believe it's When in Rome. Could be wrong on that, but I think it's something in Rome. I believe it's When in Rome. I didn't know that there was a first one, so I did not read the first one. I read this one. But the first one is about Annie's brother and Amelia. So Amelia is famous, and she has a bodyguard named Will Griffin. So this book follows Annie, and she is on a quest to find her true love. She wants to get settled down, get married, have kids, like start her life. She's ready. But she feels like every single day that she goes on is just going really bad. So I was talking to Amelia about this, and Amelia's like, I got you. So she basically sets up Will to train her on how to date. This little small town sweetheart, bad boy with the floral tattoos, like, he is so sweet, and his declaration of love, I love them together. And immediately when he starts getting jealous, are you kidding? Like, it's so good. I don't know how to explain to you. I was like kicking my feet like, oh my god, it's adorable. I love it. So I really enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars. I have not actually written a review on this one yet. Love it. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. I think I have to go and read the first one, because something about like Rome, Kentucky, in this small little town, like, it was adorable. Like, literally so adorable. Those are all of the books that I read. So this giant stack right here is probably the most books that I have read in a month so far, which is insane because I didn't realize how much I was reading. And I don't know if it's because I was filming a lot this month or what, but just everything I read was like, for the most part, was just so good. Like, I enjoyed everything. So, just, like, wow, right? So, getting into the March TBR portion. So, I have a slightly smaller stack here, but that's just because I didn't want to try and follow up February when I didn't know if I was going to be able to read as much. So, rogue book! This is the March stack. This is what I definitely want to read. So starting off, we have What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther. She is the author of The Summer of Broken Rules. So this one is about Lily Hopper. She has 2 more weeks until she's officially finished with boarding school. With graduation quickly approaching, Lily is worried that she somehow missed out on the fun of being in high school. So when she receives a mysterious note inviting her to join the anonymous senior class jester in executing the end-of-year prank, Lily sees her chance to put her goody two-shoes reputation behind her. When Lily realizes the jester is none other than Taggart Swell, her ex-boyfriend, she's already in too deep to back out, and it's going to be a problem. Lily might have dumped Tag, but she still has major feelings. Plus, his brilliant plan to steal the school's yearbook targets none other than Lily's prom date, the senior class president, Daniel. As the group of pranksters hide cryptic clues around campus for Daniel to find, Lily and Tag find themselves in close quarters. As the exes dodge campus safety guards, night owl teachers, a troop of freshmen, and even Daniel himself, new sparks fly between them. But old hurts and painful secrets refuse to be ignored, and with graduation on the horizon, sometimes it takes letting go to realize that some bonds can't be broken. So I read The Summer of Broken Rules, I believe 2 years ago. It was super cute. I loved it. I loved her writing. So at the time of filming this, I've actually just put down this book. So I'm not going to explain anything, but so cute. Next, I want to continue with the Chestnut Spring series. I have the entire set. So I want to pick up Heartless by Elsie Silver. This one is working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should have been simple. Except I can't keep my eyes off him, and he can't keep his hands off of me. Katie is 13 years older than I am and barely looks my way. Until I get him into the hot tub one night for a game of truth or dare. Then all bets are off, and so are our clothes. Whoa. Okay, hello. He's gruff, a little rough around the edges, but broad-shouldered ranchers with callous hands and filthy mouths are the city's girls' kryptonite, but who am I to resist? But it's in our quiet moments together that he softens. It's when he takes care of me that I realize his hardened exterior is just a facade. It's when I watch him go all sweet with his little boy that I really fall for him. Someone convinced him once that his best wasn't good enough, but I've never felt more cherished than I do in his arms. My contract may say this arrangement is only for 2 months, but my heart says this is forever. This is super cute. Aww. I am not a big age gap person. I don't like when kids are really involved in stories, but everyone swears by this, so I'm sure that I'll enjoy it. So I am excited for this one. Woo! This is on my 2024 goal is to finish the Chestnut Spring series, so I'm gonna try and read 1 or so a month, or spread that out a little bit more as long as I finish the series this year, because I have all of them. And also I have these covers, these like mirror covers, so yes. The next book that I want to read is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I read the first 2. This is the 3rd book in the Knock 'Em Out series. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. So this one follows Lucian. Correct me, please. I can't pronounce. If you're new to my channel, you know this. I don't know how to talk. So whatever. So this one is the 3rd book. This one follows Lucian and Sloane. So there was only one woman who could set me free, but I would rather set myself on fire than ask Sloane Walton for anything. Lucian Rollins is a lean, mean, vengeance-seeking mogul. On a quest to erase his abusive father's mark on the family name, he spends every waking minute pulling strings and building his empire. The more money and power he gains, the safer he feels, except when it comes to one feisty small-town librarian. Bonded by an old dark seeker from the past and their current mutual disdain, Sloane Walton trusts Lucian about as far as she can throw his designer-suited body. When bickering accidentally turns to foreplay, the flames are fanned, possible to put them out again. But with Sloane more than ready to start a family and Lucian refusing to even consider the idea of marriage and kids, these enemies to lovers are stuck in an impasse. Until Lucian learns the hard way that leaving Sloane is impossible, the very least he can do is keep her safe. So everyone was so excited for Lucian and Sloane's story, and then I heard not so great things, so I'm not super excited, but I definitely want to read it. I'm worried that it's going to be a letdown when I really enjoyed the first 2 books, so we'll see. The next thing I want to read is The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. This is our book club read for March because it is my birth month, so it was my choice. The last book that I read by Frida McFadden was The Coworker, and I absolutely love that book. So her books are always super quick reads for me, which are perfect for book club reads. So this one says, some doors are locked for a reason. While 11-year-old Nora Davis was up in her bedroom doing homework, she had no idea her father was killing women in the basement. Okay, hey. Until the day the police arrived at their front door. Decades later, Nora's father is spending his life behind bars, and Nora is a successful surgeon with a quiet, solitary existence. Nobody knows about her past, and she'll do anything to keep it that way. Then one of her young female patients is murdered, killed in the same unique and horrific manner that her father used to kill his victims. Somebody knows who Nora is. Somebody wants her to take the fall for this unthinkable crime. But she's not like her father. The police can't pin anything on her, as long as they don't look in her basement. Ew. Okay. I'm so excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I love her books. I really love her books. I have to read everything that she's ever written. Should I make that one of my other goals for 2024, or is that a little too much? I might make that another goal, just saying. So I'm excited for this one. Next, I want to read Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I was looking for like a mix between a couple of different genres this month to get through my physical TBR, so that's why I picked this one up. I read a couple of books by Riley Sager and I really enjoyed them, so when I saw this on my TBR card, I was like, you know what? Let's pick it up this month. Her dream apartment, her worst nightmare. After responding to a mysterious newspaper advertisement, Jules Larson gets a job as an apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, one of Manhattan's most famous and secretive buildings. At first, the extravagance of the Bartholomew feels like a lucky break for recently heartbroken and penniless Jules, who has been haunted by misfortune for most of her life. But when a fellow apartment sitter in the building goes missing, Jules begins to suspect there are dark forces at work behind the Bartholomew's glamorous facade. Digging deeper into the building's past, Jules soon realizes that the Bartholomew is more dangerous than she thought, and that escape may be impossible. Creepy, can't wait, excited for that one. Finally, I'm going to be picking up the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So this month, I definitely want to read Throne of Glass, the first book in the series. I'm doing it like the romance way, so I read Assassin's Blade fourth. I'm not reading it first. This one says, lethal, loyal, legendary. In a land without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She has no love for the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass, but she has not come to kill him. She has come to win her freedom. If she defeats 23 murderers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she will be released from prison to serve as the king's champion. Her name is Selena Sarduthian? Again, I can't speak correctly. English? Doesn't work. The crown prince will provoke her, the captain of the guard will protect her, and a princess from a faraway country will befriend her. But something rotten dwells in the castle and it's there to kill. When her competitors start dying mysteriously, one by one, Selena's fight for freedom becomes a fight for survival, and a desperate quest to root for the evil before it destroys her world. I'm so excited. This is a long-awaited read. I have the entire series, so I'm super excited for this, so yay. If you have anything that you think that like maybe I should read, please let me know. I'm always looking for recommendations, but that is what I'm trying to do. My goal is to get through my physical TBR, so that's why there's kind of like so many different types of books on here. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Bye!